All right, today we're breaking down something every EDC person needs to hear. There are 5 levels of everyday carry, and trust me, you're not on the level that you think you are. In fact, most people think they're a level 4 or a level 5, but in reality, we're all kind of hovering around that middle level. So today, let's figure out exactly where you stand, what level you're actually at, and how to level up your carry with some purpose behind it. Welcome back to Not Another EDC Podcast, where everyday carry meets everyday life. I'm your host, Mikey. I'm a husband, a father, an EDC content creator, and gear enthusiast. If you carry 1 item or 20 items for your EDC, then this podcast is for you. So let's get into it. Let's talk about level 1. This is the accidental carrier. Here are the typical symptoms of the accidental carrier. You carry things without realizing it. So it's the clear basics. What items are those things? Phone, wallet, keys. That's pretty much it. There's no intentionality or purpose in your carry, just default stuff that you walk out of the house with. No fluff. If you are in level 1, that's totally fine. Why? Because everyone starts at level 1. Even all dads start there. It's literally your discovery stage where you experience for the first time where you need a pair of scissors and you're looking around and all you get is stale French fries in the car. Now, how do folks in level 1 level up? You start by adding 1 intentional tool. This is sort of the stage where a typical EDC head will throw in a pocket knife into the mix, but you really got to think to yourself, what problem annoys you the most during your week, and then curate from there. Now let's move on to level 2. Level 2 is the essentials person. What does the essential person typically carry? Same as level 1, phone, keys, wallet, but now they're probably throwing in some AirPods and maybe 1 tool like a pen or a knife. At this stage, you're aware, but not so deep. You're practical, but not obsessed with gear yet. The thought of preparedness is probably still not top of mind, and the sentiment that you have on gear that you carry is still at a very low to moderate stage. A tip that I have for level 2ers, if 2ers is even a word, is track what you actually use. I'm going to call it back to my episode 9 where I wrote down all the things that I used in a week in my notepad, in my jot down notebook, and that's what's going to help level 2ers level up. That now brings us to level 3. Level 3 is your problem solver. This is honestly where I used to be before I became a full content creator. This person now carries everything that you carry in level 1 and level 2, but now you add in your pen, you add in your flashlight, you add in maybe a multi-tool, you add in a microfiber cloth. You even now probably carry a backup battery for your phone, and you carry a real knife. Not no cheapo knife, gas station knife. You got a brand behind it. You're probably now in the Benchmade stage. This is the level where people around you start asking, bro, why do you have that? Is it necessary to really carry that? Is it necessary to really bring that around you? Might be even your spouse. I get it all the time. But then they ask to borrow it maybe 5 minutes later. That's level 3. At that stage, you probably have things kind of dialed, but then you go into level 4. And now level 4 is the enthusiast. Level 4, this person owns multiples of things. Knives, flashlights, pry bars even. They now have preferences and options, and they probably color code a bunch of their carry and whatnot. They don't just carry, they curate. They also probably have favorite makers at this point. Favorite leather maker, favorite knife maker, favorite just maker in general. They use specific lighting temperatures in their photos when they're taking pictures. You start looking at their Instagram thread or maybe Facebook, the theme of how they take their photos and their flat lays are starting to look professional and the same. They're also probably at this stage where they're just fidgeting with their gear for no apparent reason. Flipping a knife, flipping the bolt action pen, playing with a fidget spinner. Things like that. I feel like right now with where I am with content creation and with just EDC in general, this is my zone because I'm very functional and I'm also very passionate with my gear and how I carry, and I'm purposeful with how I have it before I leave the house. I think this is honestly where I am at, level 4. Now, level 5, this is where I strive to be because this is the lifestyle carrier. At level 5, this is the person where EDC is truly part of their identity. They have bags, multiple bags curated for multiple things. They have a get home bag. They have an EDC bag. They have an emergency bag. They have a first aid bag. Their pouches, same. They're all modded. They have a med pouch. They have an EDC pouch, an electronics pouch, everything. Their tools, they're probably all branded in the same. They probably have a whole Milwaukee tool set in their garage. Everything is intentional and layered. Their off-body setups and on-body setups are dialed. They know exactly what that's going to look like. If they're a dad, their family carry kits, those are probably also planned. Their car kits, those are all dialed. They know where everything is. And to take it a step up, they probably know all of their knife laws, and they're on top of every single thing that comes with the politics of carrying. The materials of metals and gear and different types of gear and how you use it, they have that patent down and understood. They know the key differences between the magnet cuts, the S30Vs, everything that comes with the nuances that come with everyday carry. They know it all. At this stage and level, it's not about buying the most. It's about designing your carry around your actual life, or maybe what your carry would look like if you were inside of the house, outside of the house, camping, out with friends, going on vacation, making a run to the store for an errand, things of that nature. This is where fatherhood, work demands, content creation, and daily priorities combine into a system and not just a pocket dump. It's where I strive to be, but I'm not quite at level 5 yet. So with all of that breakdown, it brings me to my recurring segment of what is in my truck. I have this bottle right here. This is an empty Yeti Yonder bottle. You don't have to have a Yeti, but I do. And I have an empty one that I typically have in my car, in addition to another one that I have at work and what I carry around, because you never know when you're going to have to fill one of these bad boys up. What I notice is that there are a lot of stores nowadays that have water filtration systems where you can go around with your own flask or your own bottle and you can fill it up with filtered water, which is really nice because you never know when you're going to come across a situation and you're going to need hydration like water. A lot of stores like Target, for example, now has that by their bathrooms where you can fill your water bottle flasks, and that way you can stay hydrated. I encourage, if you don't have water bottles in your car already, to have an empty one like this, so that way you can always fill it up on the go when you have to. Especially when it comes summertime. It doesn't get so crazy here in San Diego, but when I was living in Vegas, it was absolutely a must-have to have an empty water bottle in the car because I was constantly filling that thing up with cold water. So now let's wrap this episode up with a recap. First off, I just want to state that where you are right now and what level you're in doesn't matter. Where you're heading and your thought process does. Your EDC should honestly make your life easier, not heavier. Pick your level or understand what level you're currently in right now. Build your layouts and curate intentionally, and then grow at your own pace. It's easy to get influenced by a lot of posts that you see, a lot of YouTube videos that you watch. Heck, that happens to me still till this day. But you really just got to buckle down and be real with yourself and understand where you are and come to terms with that and slowly grow and progress and carry with purpose. Little plug to my boy Ron Kwok there for living with purpose. If you enjoyed this episode, please drop a like. Comment down below with your thoughts on these different levels. Maybe I missed some things out. Throw that down there as well. If you guys aren't following me already on Instagram, it's at Mikey Daily Carry. I do some posts on there as well. And I also try to make it a point to release a new EDC podcast episode every single week. So that way I can just have organic talks with you guys and really give my simple, honest, practical thoughts on this thing that we love called EDC. Thank you guys for tuning in. I will catch you guys on the next one. Peace out. Walk pack!